On this special Shabbat, Shabbat Shekalim, as we just read in our Maftir reading, we're told that when you take a census of the Israelites, each should pay to be counted in that census. So now the Maftir reading stipulates that you should pay a half shekel for anyone aged 20 and up. We know that this census was actually really limited to males 20 and up. It was a military draft of sorts. Those who were able to serve in the military for the Israelite community, immediately after revelation at Sinai and entering a covenantal relationship that would culminate in journeying into that promised land, the Israelites are using the census to prepare their military. Little did they know that there would be 40 years of wandering to come. Still, the power of this ritual act of the census cannot be overlooked. We're told everyone pays a half shekel, really a minuscule amount, enough that all can afford. And the Torah stipulates so that the poor should not pay any less and the rich should not pay any more. The formal census puts everyone on the same level, sees everyone as equal, no matter how much or little wealth they've brought with them since leaving Egypt. If there's anything that this pandemic has amplified and shown us, revealed for those of us who had blinders on for far too long, it's the economic inequality in this country. Even within our own community, there are those who are really financially struggling right now, and there are those who are merely inconvenienced. I would say even those who are really struggling financially in our community, we must acknowledge that there's a big difference because of our privilege between our financial straits and others in society who are unsure where their next meal will come from. A recent poll suggests that 70% of Americans encouraged President Biden to increase SNAP benefits and food stamps because of the levels of food insecurity going on right now in this country. A CBS News poll that came out last week concluded that an overwhelming 83% of Americans support Congress passing an additional COVID relief bill. When there's a pandemic, we truly see that disparity. And that financial disparity is not unique to a political party. When 83% support financial relief, we understand that economic inequality. There are reasons that the numbers of COVID cases are higher among impoverished communities. Communities where members may live with large extended families in small homes, difficult to socially distance with family members when each goes to their own workplaces. Communities where many are what we call essential workers, but that's just a fancy way, a way so that we don't feel guilt of referring to them as expendable workers, when many of these workers are not even paid a living wage, but stock the shelves of our supermarkets, deliver our packages, pick up our trash, so that we have the luxury of continuing to quarantine from home and work remotely via Zoom. It shouldn't take a pandemic to make this inequality a reality. It shouldn't take a once-in-a-century crisis to make us willing to do something about it, to see the inequality, and to strive to make things more equitable. The reason that the Torah in our Maftir reading stipulates that the rich and the poor shall pay the same amount, the very same, so soon after becoming a nation, so soon after adopting a set of laws, so soon after receiving Torah and entering this covenant with God, is because God and us, made in God's image, we were trying to build a just society, a society that looked out for all, that didn't leave anyone behind. We see that exemplified in many of the laws read in this morning's Torah portion, Parshat Mishpatim, specifically laws regarding loans and usury, and ensuring that no one is to take advantage of those in vulnerable positions. The Torah commentator Abarbanel clarifies that God did not want a crude individual who had become wealthy to give more than an honorable person in financial straits, lest we unintentionally end up honoring those who have means rather than appreciating those who are mensches, who strive to walk in God's ways, striving to serve as God's partners in creation and making this world a better place. Let us strive to build a society with that same idea in mind. Let us pick up the pieces that were broken before this pandemic, more revealed to us ever before because of this pandemic, and build a society where we honor character rather than material consumption, that we celebrate how a person acts rather than how much wealth a person accumulates, and that we strive to build a society in which we will never see people struggling to pay for their next meal while others have more wealth than they know what to do with. May we build a society where the expectation is that there's no less and no more, that no matter where one falls on that spectrum of wealth that is the reality of capital system, that all are able to engage, all are able to participate, and all are seen as participating in their role and responsibility in society in this world, giving their metaphoric half shekel to make this world a better place.